we have a slightly different game for you today, where we've got a dominate scenario where we have a mark in the center of the field, and the army which has the most units closest to that mark in the blue one you can see there in the very center. It looks like it isn't in the center, but it is. They will be the overall winner of the game. So, as we already know, we've got the herd versus the Empire Dust. Here's the herd. In the far corner you've got some regiment Longhorns, a Stampede and a Shaman, a horde of warriors, a Brutox, Shaman, a Chimera with wings, Berserkers, a regiment of, a horde of Minotaurs, another Shaman, and the Centaurs, a regiment of. Then, as we look at the other side, here we are. In the far corner we have a regiment of Skeleton Horsemen, Pharaoh and a horse. Then we have a horde of Skeleton Archers, a horde of Guardians, the Curse High Priest, a horde of Skeleton Warriors, a Pharaoh, horde of Spears again, Bone Giant, 3 Worm Riders, and a reanimated Behemoth at the very front, obviously commanded by the ineffable and magnificent Steve. So here we are with the first turn, and very much most of the movement is concerned about the central marker. The warriors have moved up very quickly along with the Stampede to try and secure that marker in the middle, the Brutox slightly behind, and similarly the Skeleton Spears have marched forward, and the Guardians in order to do the same sort of thing. Now, far left flank, right flank even, if you're technical, is a bit of a standoff between the Bone Giant, the Worm Riders, and the Behemoth, and the Minotaurs and the Centaurs, as you can see here. Lots of space between the two, neither one wanting to give the advantage of the charge to the other, and therefore the first round of combat. So while this end of the field is somewhat separate, the far end is getting stuck in, and I believe I said earlier on that this was a unit of spearmen that had crashed in, but in fact it's the Skeleton Warriors that had charged in, and as you can see, we are now in the midst of a tussle for the blue marker in the middle of the field. Obviously this is the same picture, just repeated. Anyway, but as I was saying, the Stampede were slowly being whittled down by bow fire from the archers, the horde of archers. The Brutox was really not doing very much at all, because I couldn't think of where to put him. He didn't seem to get stuck into this game at all. Up on the right flank here, we still have a standoff. They have shuffled and moved a little bit closer, teasing each other, and I think at this point it's true to say that the Giant has moved across. He eventually leaves this flank entirely. Now then, in between those two shots, quite dramatic events. The Centaurs charged the Behemoth, and the Minotaurs charged into the Worm Riders. The Worm Riders with I believe with I've had too much to drink, with the Chimera, and they are no longer there. The Chimera then goes after one of the cursed Pharaoh characters, and the Minotaurs turn to attack the flank of the warriors. Okay, now over on the left hand side there's a bit of a match going on between the Longhorns and the Skeleton Horsemen, and this isn't going to be long lived, particularly because the Skeleton Horsemen leave that combat and join this tussle in the centre between the Spearman, the Horde, and the Giant, who's done a jolly good job of moving right the way across to get himself into this conflict, considering he was right out by the Worm Riders earlier on. We quickly realised that he would be better used in the centre of the field. That's Steve's magnificent brain in working order there for you. Still a bit of a tussle going on between the Centaurs and the Behemoth. and still the Minotaurs haven't quite closed in on the skeleton horde there. But eventually both these will turn and round themselves towards the centre of the board. There you can see the behemoth has been destroyed, and I have to say that throughout this the herd greatly benefited from 3 shamans, all with heal. So quite a lot of healing was done one way or another, and that helped the herd quite a lot. Alright, now the warriors, large unit herd of warriors, and the horde of warriors rather, in the centre have been destroyed. As you can see, the giant has turned to face the left flank, and the skeleton spears have turned to face the right, and they're going to be charged by the berserkers and the of course the Minotaurs. We're getting very close to the blue marker at this point. This is the giving down to the nub of the whole game, and at the moment the Empire of the Dust have considerable claim to the game at the point. Now then, over this side you can see the skeleton horsemen have left the Longhorns and charged the Butox in the side, and the giant has attacked the Stampede, and this is not going to do any of them any good at all. With the warriors in the front, they are in a bad way. This is Steve the Magnificent's hands, with a ruler I believe it's called, moving one of his high priests over to help out best in the combat that he has before him. And the centre here, you can see that the Brutox has been destroyed, and so has the Stampede. They're no longer there. So this is where everything turns around. On one side you have the Longhorns, on the other side you have the Berserkers, and you have the Centaurs and the Minotaurs, and they've got to somehow get themselves close enough to this game to secure that marker there, the blue glass marker. Now the Minotaurs and the Berserkers take out the Spearmen, but at the same time the Minotaurs are then charged in the side by the Skeleton Horsemen. You can see the Longhorns just coming into view here. Now the Centaurs made a long charge right up to the Skeleton Spears, right in the top hand corner, and after a protracted series of attacks, we found that we were coming to the end of the game. There was no more time, and in fact, as it turned out, the very little more was destroyed. You can see from this photograph that the Skeleton Horseman bounced off the Minotaurs. I thought I'd made a terrible mistake sending the Centaurs way off mark, but it was within every unit that was within 12 inches of the blue marker counted towards, and when we added up the Shaman, the Minotaurs, the Chimera, and in fact the Centaurs just got in, whereas the Spearmen did not. Okay, it turned out that you ended up with just a few 100 points difference between the two, and it spelled a victory to the herd. Marvellous. Fantastic stuff. At last, a victory to the herd. I've been Daxio Roth Chop. Thank you very much for listening, and press the like button. Thank you.